Hello, it's Karen Berniston, and today I have a video showing how I use Walgreens to print my perfect square photos to fit the Surprise Cube pop-up. So I'm going to show you how I do that. Walgreens is nationwide in the United States, so it's a good solution for you. If you're outside the country, then you'll probably just have to look around and see what options you have for printing collage prints. But if you do have access to Walgreens, then you're first going to go to photo.walgreens.com and create an account if you don't already have one. And then it's going to, once you're signed in, it'll say, hi, your name over here. Now, I am using my computer for this, so I do recommend that you use a computer with photo.walgreens.com. If you have to do it on a phone or a tablet, see if you can get to the full website instead of the mobile site. See what you can do. I don't think the app does all the collage prints, but, experiment. So first thing you need to do is you need to get some photos uploaded. So if you want to use this little button right here under Quick Start, jump right in. It'll say Upload Photos. You click that. You have the option to upload them from your computer or some of your social media sites, however you want to grab all those photos and bring them in. Then they're going to turn up here under My Photos. I have a little album here called Dogs where I uploaded all the photos I'm going to use for this collage print, and you can see them here. Now, most of them are already squares, and that's just because I had edited them outside of Walgreens Photo Editor because I needed to print them actually to make a class sample, so I just printed them at home, and so I had already cropped them into squares. You do want at least 6 photos already cropped into squares, but you can do it within this photo editor. So in other words, you can just bring your photo in. See this photo here? This is the original size photo. And I brought that in, and you can see over here where it's been cropped into a square. So how do you crop them? What you do is you go to your album and you find the one you want to crop, and you hit the little gear icon and you say, edit photo. Okay. And then up here, you're going to hit crop, and it's going to give you the option to crop it into a square. So you hit square, and then it's going to give you a square, and then you can move it to grab as much as you want. If you wanted to have that a tighter square, like let's say I just want to do cute little Katie's face here, I could do that. And then, once you have it the way you like it, then you can hit done editing down at the bottom here. And then that'll come in as a new photo. So it doesn't actually replace your old one. You've got a new one here. So once you have done that so that you have some square photos in your album, at least 6 of them. So if you'll pre-edit 6 photos into squares before you get started, then after that, you can actually do it in your project canvas. So I'm going to tell you what I mean by that in just a second. Okay, let's just actually back out to Walgreens Photo again. And we're going to say prints. Up here, prints, specialty prints, collage print. Okay. It's going to default to an 8x10. You want the 4x6. You're going to hit create now. And it's going to create your project space, and then it's going to ask you what photos you want to use. And this is why you want them to be in squares already, because you're going to pick 6 square photos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 6 photos selected, add to order. And because they're already cropped into squares, it is going to lay this out as a 6 square canvas. And that size happens to be the perfect size for the Surprise Cube. So notice here under all your other layout choices, and I mean, I don't know whether it's going to, if you don't see layouts right here, that you just need to click layouts. So let's say if you're looking at your photos, you can go over here to layouts. Well, this is not one of the choices, unfortunately, for a 4x6. When we do the 4x4 collage prints, you can actually choose one that's all squares, but this one doesn't have one that's all squares as a pre-made template. So the only way to force it into squares without having to do a lot of editing yourself is to start with square photos. So you have to kind of go to your album, make sure they're squares, pull 6 of them in. Okay, here's why I said you don't have to do more than 6. After you've done this one time, then you'll be able to edit your other photos within this canvas. So what do I mean by that? Okay, so I've got my 6 photos. This one's ready to go. I can go up here to review order, click on it. It's going to show me my print. I can tell it whether I want glossy, which is the ones that I can get in an hour at my local Walgreens, or matte, I have to do mail order. So I'm going to choose glossy. Maybe I want more than one, however many I want, and I'm going to hit proceed to cart. And it's going to put that collage print in my cart for me. Oh, I have some other ones in here that I had done earlier. Let's just remove those. Okay. So I can, again, I can change the quantity if I want to. Take a look and see if there's any of those codes. You know, when you go to photo.walgreens.com, look around and see if there's any codes that apply, because you can get some savings that way. All right, I'm ready to create another one. So it's going to go back to my project space, and it is going to remember that you like 6 square photos. So even though your photos have been removed, look at the size. Those are all square photos. So what that means is that if I go up here to get more photos, and I choose photos that are not squares, well, this one only has, I'm going to choose this one because it's not a square. So assume that these other ones, you know, weren't squares already. So this is the one that's not a square. So if I pull that in, it will crop it to a square for me. And within this, I have the option to zoom in and out, or I even have the option to edit it completely and hit the crop button. And since it's already a square, I can do that same thing that I did before. I can kind of change my square cropping, decide how I want the dogs framed, all that stuff. I can do that from within the project space and then hit done editing. So see, you can, as long as you started with 6 square ones at the beginning, and you know, everything that you do in this project space is going to remember that you want square photos, whether they started as squares or not. Okay, and then you just drag in your photos to make your second one. You know, and then again, review order, proceed to cart. And then, you know, so you can just make as many as you want. Now with the surprise cube, it is a 6-sided cube. It was a cube, so there's 6 sides, but 2 of them have cuts in them, you know, for the mechanism. So I usually tend to use only 4 photos per cube. So if you do 2 collage prints, you'll have 12 photos, and that is enough to do 3 cubes. So I hope this is helpful, and I look forward to seeing your photo cubes. Definitely post them for us in the Pop-Up Peeps group on Facebook or on Instagram, and just tag hashtag Karen Burniston brand. Thanks. If you click on the website link, you'll go to KarenBurniston.com, where you can purchase these dies as well as find links to our other social media accounts. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel and check out some of my other videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.